Hello there, Croeso and welcome. I'm Shadow Lemmax and I'm back here on Wreckfest to do this week's weekly challenge for the Racing Legends tournament, and it's a race attack on the Saddle-Axe Sandpit. It's a course I know quite well, mixture of gravel and dirt, lots of changes of direction. With the settings, keep gears on manual, but ABS on half, traction control off, stability control on half, and then I move the suspension back to standard, and that's what I use. Difference between this and other race attacks is that there's not much luck involved with dealing with the AI. You can get past them quite quickly and quite easily. Just go up the inside of the first two corners and you will be pretty much at the front of the pack. Most of the resets from this are going to come from your own mistakes. As I said, there's a lot of changes of direction, switches between tarmac and gravel, different traction zones, and it's very easy just to take too much speed into one of these corners and to mess up your whole run. But there is a lot of speed involved in this course. There's not much along the lines of heavy braking. Every time I am braking, I'm just lightly on the brake. I don't want to be going too hard. And it's this section at the end where a lot of time can be won or lost. How you go into this last corner, and I do it far from perfect, but it's good enough for gold on this run. So I'll take you through this lap. You brake just after those tyres on your left, down into third, hug the inside as much as you can so you get a good line then for this second corner, so you can take that as straight as possible. Accelerate then up to this corner. I take this too tight, hitting the barriers there on the inside and losing a ton of speed, but you want to be skimming them as much as possible. As you come to this corner here, you want to be much wider on the entry than I am. It's forced me to go too tight and to cut some of that barrier away, although that does help me on the next lap. Again, brake hard for this corner, make the corner as tight as possible so you're thereby reducing the distance you have to travel, and then you want to cut this corner quite severely so you can take this as straight as possible. But again, I do it wrong essentially. I'm coming in too tight and too narrow for that final corner. You want to be more to the right so you can carry more speed in and then have more speed down the straight. And that's a lap of this track. You got 3 laps and you got to set the best time you possibly can, and it's getting that consistency lap to lap. And I wanted to use this because this run that I've done, even though I know there's more time to be had, is to show that you don't have to be perfect with your lines and your driving to get a gold. As you can see, my little escapade through the barriers on that second lap has allowed me to take a few of these corners much faster this lap. Makes me think that maybe the ideal way is to use that first lap to clear out some of these barriers that aren't really barriers, to then make lap 2 and 3 even faster. And even here, there's got to be a much better way of doing this than the way I do it. As you can see, I've gone a bit more right to the right there, getting a much better entry into that final corner. But there we have it, my 3 laps in a 3:33.619. As I said, there's not much luck involved in dealing with the AI. You'll have a few moments, but most of your problems are going to be entirely self-inflicted due to the nature of the track, the car, the power that this car's got, and the changes of direction that you will be doing during the race. It's very easy just to slide off, go too far one way or the other, and to completely ruin your day. And well, we got my normal outtakes here of me messing up as I've attempted to do this challenge. I've actually put a run that I did last night Normally I do these videos on a Tuesday night when the challenges changed, but I went out, me and my wife went out with some friends and had a bit too much to drink, and when I came home and tried the challenge myself in my inebriated state, I was, well, you'll see here. This is the one and only run that I managed to finish. It is quite bad, and it's one of those real life lessons that are applicable in the virtual world, and that is, don't drink and drive. You might think you're doing really well, but you are not. And I genuinely tried for these 3 laps, but you'll see yourself how poor they are. So I just want to say diolch and thank you for watching.